Welcome to the Diaries of the Bearded IFA. Today I'm joined with Tracy from
Healthy Minds Matter.
Healthy Minds Matter. And it's funny that I stopped there because I literally asked you about 20 seconds ago,
Yeah.
but I said because the words link up, for some reason my mind just escapes it. But there we go. Thank you, Tracy.
Well,
Let's start on that point then. What is the charity and what does it do?
So Healthy Minds Matter CIC is a collaboration of myself and my colleague Andrea Peers. We're two coaching psychologists and we've worked about 25 years each in different capacities. I've worked in social housing, she's worked in education and the NHS. And we met on LinkedIn just randomly, and I went for a coffee and realised there was this bit of a gap in the market with just that everyday mental health, people who've maybe been through the NHS or trying to get back to work. And there's just nothing. It's like it's
Mm.
very all or nothing. And you go back to work and you get this cycle of going back off work again. And we just wanted to fill that gap. We really wanted to make a sea change in how people think about mental health, the way it's happened with physical health over the last 30 years. Nowadays, you go to the gym not just if something goes wrong. You go to keep well so that the maintenance is
Mm.
there. So if you have an accident, you pull a muscle, you break something, you get better quicker. And it's the same with your mental health. People think your brain is something completely different to the rest of your body. It's not. And we want people to understand that. So Healthy Minds Matters CIC. Actually, well, Healthy Minds Matters was born that first coffee we had. And then it took about 9 months of us consolidating the idea before we became a CIC, which means we can now go for partnership work with local authorities. We can apply for national lottery funding and other sort of funding sources.
It does feel like mental health is the big crisis now in terms
Mhm.
of workplace well-being
Yeah.
and actually not even workplace, just general well-being for people. It feels as well that it accelerated from COVID.
Yeah.
Is that a fair assumption? Is that a fair statement?
I think so. And I think work and home melded so much more then as well, didn't it?
Yeah.
So I think some people who were not very well at home could go into work and put on their work head. And I think that's just been eroded. And yeah, people haven't certainly some people haven't quite recovered from COVID. And the other thing is we're talking about it more. So there are some positives from that as well.
Yeah.
There's a lot more flexibility in work. People who are neurodiverse can have working from home days, which really helps your mental health if you are autistic or have ADHD. So there are positives as well. I think
Yeah.
the conversation is happening. So that's good.
Yeah, I think workplace flexibility is way better than what it used to be because it was very you siloed Monday to Friday, 9 to 5, and yeah, that's what we did.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think COVID was a good break of that change, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Talking of mental health then, and stresses in general, I know from research that I've done with financial education that
Mm.
mental health really impacts productivity, increases absenteeism.
Yeah.
Is that something that you've seen with your work in the space that you're in?
Definitely, it's not the black and white, either you're in work or you're out work. You have presenteeism, I think they call it, where you're in work but you're not at work into full capacity, where you're struggling to keep going. I mean, especially menopause, different points in your life, coming back with a new baby for the first time. There's different times where we're not there fully, and to be able to have the conversations can really help get the best out of people. So yeah, it's more than just being in work or off work. It's definitely sort of across the board how positive people are about change as well. And I think that's another thing that we're facing is, they say for young people now, they won't be doing the same job for more than 3 years at a time. It'll be
Mm.
evolving and developing. So the pace of change is massive, and that can be hard to keep up with if you're not feeling like fully present. And so, if a company wants to evolve, adapt, take on new technology, you need your people to be well.
Yeah, they need to be in a good place, don't they?
Yeah,
So healthy minds matter. You'll be impressed that I got it out in the end.
that's fantastic.
How are you addressing these concerns and these issues then in the workplace and beyond?
So we work at a very everyday. Our strap line is everyday mental health. It's looking at confidence. It's looking at boundaries. It's looking at speaking up for yourself. It's looking at understanding anxiety and stress, what that feels like in the body, what you can do to alleviate that, how you come down from a stressful day at work, because stress is not a bad thing. I think social media would tell you that you should never feel stressed. We need to feel stressed to show that we're alive.
Yeah.
What's important is leaving work and recalibrate and come back and into your rest and digest. So some of the techniques we teach are about understanding when you get elevated, what you're going to do to come back down again, and that's um, they're sort of just simple tricks. And I think this erosion between home and work makes a difference because we used to walk home from work or drive home from work and you'd have that 20 minutes calm down. Now you walk out of the room, but the laptop might still be open.
Mm.
You kind of might think, oh, maybe I'll go back
And it's
in
there in the
later. It's
background.
always there looking
Yeah.
at, yeah. So it's that switching off, having a routine, and those sort of keeping well. That's what we look at with people, and it can be about confidence and boundaries, being able to speak up in a meeting, feeling psychologically safe, and being able to talk to your manager about what you need to keep you well as well.
Boundaries, I think, is a really important point, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
I love coming to the office.
Mm.
I feel that I bring in energy. I
Mhm.
get on my work. Don't get me wrong, I do work at home, but that tends to be, sporadic
Yeah.
points. But I do think there's a positivity in me when I
Mm.
come to a place of work to work
Totally. And I worry for young people starting work where they're almost at home from the
from
beginning.
day one. Yeah.
How do you learn a culture of a company
How
if
do
you're
you?
not there? I don't know.
And it's
It's not my
I
problem
was
to
having this
solve.
discussion last week. It's those micro
Yeah,
conversations that you'll have in the workplace as well,
absolutely.
whether it's at the coffee machine, whether it's at someone's cubicle, workstation, wherever.
Yeah.
You can just have a conversation off the hop,
Yeah.
which actually solves a problem elsewhere, doesn't
Yeah,
it?
and you find out about your wider you're not in your silo of your team or even just yourself. You find out what the wider company is doing, what the direction it's going in, and you're part of a conversation. And the best people to support you or to notice when things aren't going right are your teammates, in work. So if you're not there, how do they spot?
Is that sometimes a recommendation then if you're looking at a business and let's say they all remote work
Mm.
from home all the time and they used to be in the office? Do you
Yeah.
sometimes suggest maybe let's start getting people in a little bit
Team days are great, but I think a regular day,
in the office?
a week is just for those conversations and to just notice how you feel. It's self-awareness. It's noticing how you feel when you get home after a day of being in the office to a day where you've just been at home and you've just shut the door in the spare room or your office. And you have, that sort of energy that you get off of other people. And it's these are the boundary issues, aren't they? Because there are
Yeah.
some days you will wanna be at home working on something bigger, a spreadsheet that you don't want the
Keep your
interruptions.
pajamas on and just crack on.
Totally,
Yeah.
yeah, those wet winter days. But, it's about, that the right I don't think we notice for a year that those sort of things if you've already got a good relationship with somebody, that doesn't go away, you probably have chats on
Yeah.
WhatsApp outside. If you're new to a company,
Yeah.
you don't form those
Don't have that
relationships.
opportunity.
No.
No. You touched on another point that I don't want to sound like a hypocrite because I do use social media for
Mm.
business on a regular basis. The podcast is out on social
Yeah.
media. I do think it's very damaging though, and I think it's really created bad habits and bad places for people with
Mhm.
mental health concerns.
Yeah.
Again, is that something that you've seen? Because I suppose if I look at my role as a school governor,
Mm.
I've seen schools with social media and then schools that ban it. The big
Mm.
advantage when you do ban it is issues stop at the school gates,
Yeah.
whereas with social media, it can carry on
Yeah.
after hours.
Yeah.
Have you seen that in the workplace?
24/7. Yeah, again, it's a boundary issue. It's social media, we can't live without it. It's really important. We use it. I was off social media completely till I started my own business, and then I've come back into it.
Yeah.
It would be difficult to run a business. It'd be difficult to run a school or to be in a school without it now. But it's the boundaries that we have around it that are so important. Knowing when to stop, and sort of the recent sleep sort of study, it isn't being on your phone that's a problem in itself, the blue light. It's too small to be a real problem. It's the scrolling, the putting off sleep. So half an hour becomes 3 hours, and the lack of sleep in for children. I think they're so sleep deprived now, which is never a good place to start a school day from.
Yeah.
So it's boundaries, hard shut off on your phone if that's what you need. People particularly who have got ADHD and have, it's Instagram is made to hook you.
Oh yeah, to
Yeah,
be plugged in.
it is, and it's you have to have a really strong boundary to put that to rest and to know what's good for you. So stepping back, realizing how you want your life to be, what sort of proportion of time you want with other people, friends, and then where does social media and your phone fit in with that? and then it's keeping those boundaries for yourself. Can't say I've got it sussed.
No,
It's
no.
hard.
Yeah, you gotta practice what you preach, I suppose, sometimes.
Absolutely. Yeah.
But it's hard in business, isn't it?
Hard
Because,
in business.
you wanna attract new clients and new clientele and social media, a lot of people on it. I mean, you touch on LinkedIn, I actually really like LinkedIn.
Yeah, LinkedIn is
Uh,
fun.
Again, anyone listening, watching probably say
Yeah.
I'm on it too much, and that's probably a fair
Mm,
comment, but, you have to put the work in, you do get clients from it, but I'm interested that the partnership with your business partner is effectively
yeah.
driven out of LinkedIn. Was that because you put a post out, they put a post out? What was
We must have connected, and Andrea just messaged me and said, "Sounds like you're doing the same kind of work as me. Do you wanna meet for a coffee?" That's the beauty of it.
Yeah, love
Um,
that.
and then the negativity is that it's never not there when you go on holiday, of an evening, of the weekend. There's always your LinkedIn to look at, and that line between work and home blurring.
Yeah. And there's always that fear of missing out,
Yeah,
that is something on there that it's good that I should read, or someone
yeah.
messaged me, someone tried to connect that might be, a
Mhm.
business opportunity.
Yeah, and, there's the expectations that get a little bit silly that you should react and respond within a certain amount of time. If somebody reaches out on LinkedIn, there's nothing wrong with not answering for the weekend.
Yeah,
But then I think WhatsApp's been the biggest bane of my life lately. It's kind of
yeah.
gone from LinkedIn messaging onto WhatsApp, and the WhatsApp groups are very in your face, aren't they?
Oh, they are.
But-
I don't know if you know, I run a not-for-profit networking group,
yeah, yeah, I've
and
been a few
yeah,
times.
I resisted it for 8 years
Yeah,
of having a WhatsApp group, but I thought, "No, we'll set one up." And then you just get people complaining about tea, coffee, this and that.
yeah,
But it's great because if you've got an event, if you've got something that coming up, or
yeah.
if anyone else has got an event or a flyer that they want to share, it's good for that, isn't it? But double-edged
These
sword.
It is a double-edged sword, and these are where we have it because the rate of change is so quick. We haven't got the rules of communication around WhatsApp yet. So the rules being, this is not for social, this is for this. If you want to respond to my message, you could change that, and you could make yourself you could put it in as a group so that only people can respond to you. They can't put anything on themselves. And we don't all get flooded with the responses either, only you see them. So there are things you can do.
Yeah.
Um but
See, I'm
it's
still new to it.
yeah, I wouldn't advise you exactly how to do it. I just know it's possible.
Yeah. What's next on the sort of roadmap then for the business and for the kick? What's your next goals?
Well, we're really delighted. We've just applied for and received National Lottery Wales grant,
Amazing.
so we're so chuffed with that. We've had National Lottery England before, and the Blue Coat charity in Chester, and those programs are coming to an end. So we're in collaboration with Vision Support. We're going to be running three groups of workshops across North East Wales, probably Rhyl, Flint, and Wrexham, starting in the autumn. So
Amazing.
we're so delighted about
But
that.
that's a big weight lifted, having funding to carry on the great
It
work
is.
that you're doing.
Yeah, it really is. It's sort of one step at a time. And as we're getting into the end of the National Lottery England, we're looking at what we can do to continue as well. And that's where we'd love to collaborate more with businesses or have businesses as sponsors. Because as you said, everybody's got staff or family members who've suffered with their mental health. So any sponsors who feel aligned with our goals and what
Your
we do,
purpose.
that would be fantastic if people want to come and get in touch because we'd like our groups to carry on beyond the national
Of
lottery
course.
time.
Yeah. I don't think you'll find anyone that's not been touched in some way
Yeah.
by mental health and,
Mm.
the sort of the consequences of it within a
Yeah.
family. Was the lottery grant process easy,
No,
hard?
it was not.
No, I bet.
The first time was the hardest. The second time, you learn your lessons, and doing something in collaboration with Vision Support. Not everybody knows about Vision Support. They're a charity that runs across Cheshire and Northeast Wales, help anybody who's has vision impairment, and helps them with digital connection, actual sort of coming out and visiting, helping with forms. They do so much work. So collaborating with somebody like that really helps a application process. So we've got the skills to offer the service. They've got the network of people and the that sort of connection into the community, and that work that really
And that's
helps.
synergy, I'm guessing,
Yeah.
as well, yeah.
And it just makes for happier. It's just easier for us as well. We can get on and do the work instead of having to try and find people that would benefit from it.
Amazing, Tracy. Anything worth mentioning before we wrap up?
Well, we've got a fundraiser coming up. So carrying on from, we want to continue our groups that are happening in Chester and Ellesmere Port. So we've got a fundraiser on the 19th of September at Sage Restaurant, which is the Wildwoods, just coming off the A55 by Sainsbury's. It's a comedy night with a raffle. Tickets are on our websites or on our social media, Healthy Minds Matter CIC. We're on LinkedIn, Facebook, and Instagram. So people can have a look there. And I'm going to be doing the comedy along with some other people. So that's
Oh,
quite
excellent.
exciting.
Oh, that's good. I will make sure that I include those details in the link when
Brilliant.
it
Thank you.
goes out, this episode. So thank you once again for coming along. Really great to hear about the charity, the kick, and everything that you're doing in that space. And yeah, hopefully more people see this and reach out.
Thank you very much for your time. It's
Thank you.
brilliant.
Thanks for listening.
Bye bye.